But nowhere in the scriptures do I see where Hosea departed. Sometimes we get so fed up with stuff that we can't take it and we just depart from the course that God has for us. You got to know that he has a love that outweighs any love that anybody can have. I'm so grateful that the one thing that was consistent in my life, I may not have been consistent in marriages. I may not have been consistent in raising my kids. I may not even be consistent with the same car. I may not have been consistent with having money in my pocket, but it's one thing that I do know. There has been a consistency in my life in staying in the house of God. Because I know I said the only way things is going to get better is that I have to stay planted and rooted in the house of God so that I can go on to know if I had never stayed, if I had never been planted, if I had never gone through what I went through, I wouldn't be at the place I am now. They're like, well, what place you're in? I'm in a wealthy place. And I'm not talking, when I say that, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about, you know what, you can have a whole lot of money, but don't have a peace of mind. You can have a whole lot of money, but don't have an understanding. You can have a whole lot of money, but don't have nobody that truly and really cares for you. So that's what going on to know in God will allow you to have. And Hosea said, go my left from everything that she had. She left from her joy. She left from her true love to go out there and search for something that was never there. And once she got out there, she would see and she would understand. Have you ever been in a comfortable place? Say you home, you sitting on the sofa, and somebody call you, hey, you come help me with this bag. And you have to get up. You got to get up from that comfortable place. You resting and you feel good, but you got to get up from that comfortable place to go do something that you really don't want to do. And that's what, to me right here, Hosea, he stood the course. He was outside of his comfort zone. But regardless of what touched him, regardless of what hit him, he never moved from the place of God. And that's what he wanted the Israel people to see, not to move from the place of God, regardless of what it may look like, regardless of what it may feel. Yes, it's not going to always be easy. Yes, it's not going to always be perfect. Yes, it's not going to be the way that you understand it or believe it to be. But you got to see what God is trying to do in every situation in our lives. Sometimes we get so frustrated and we fall back on the things that are common to man. I know when I get frustrated, you might as well call it quits, because I'm going straight to either Marshall's, I'm going straight to Ross, I'm going straight to J.C. Penney, I'm going somewhere. Because I had the mentality that if I spend something on something for me, it's going to make me feel better. It's going to make me do better. But only thing it made me was broke. Now I got another problem, because now I done took my rent money and bought a pair of shoes. Now I'm short on my rent. So now I got to go and get on this app, Dave app, and then borrow some money from them. They going to charge me double the amount, and now I got to pay them back. They going to take care of my next check. They going to have half of that. So that means that my bills for the 15th, now they late, they tore up. So all it does is cause us to fall deeper and deeper in sin. But if we stay on the Hosea road, see, Hosea had a road. He had a plan. He had a made-up mind. He said, I'm going to serve the Lord. And what was so amazing, oh my God, help me, Holy Spirit, was that Hosea was so obedient to the Lord. He was so obedient. I was praying. I said, Lord, give me the obedience of Hosea, that when you speak, I react. I don't look at what it is. I don't look at how I feel. I don't look at what others may think or feel about what I'm doing. But you spoke, and I'm going to do it. You said it, and I'm going to act. You say, come forth, and I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to stay on the Hosea road. When Gomer was out there, And see, what does it is that God will do mysterious things. He touched, he said, you know what, Hosea? He said, you know what? You didn't have to deal with embarrassment, because I know it was embarrassing. I know it was embarrassing. Y'all know it's embarrassing. When the girl see your man or the man see your girl, it's embarrassing. My thing was tell me before they tell me. Because if you don't tell me before they tell me, I'm going to tell you before you know it. And it ain't going to be pretty. Let me deal with the circumstances, but let me know. If you spend all the rent money, let me know. If you do something you ain't got no business doing, let me know. Let me know. So then when the devil, the enemy come up to me, well, you know this here happened, girl. Find something else to talk about. I already know. I'm not approving of what you did, but the fact that I know for somebody outside my house can tell me, it's just something about when somebody outside come and tell you what's going on the inside. Now, them fighting words to me. Because nobody should be able to tell me what's going on inside my house outside my door. Tell me. And we'll fight. We'll tear up the furniture in here. But then when they come, hey, we already done dealt with it. We done already dealt with this. Y'all got to sit on the floor because I broke a chair on him. But y'all sit on the floor. We dealt with our issues. We ain't got no plates because I broke them all over his head. But hey, eat out your hand. The Africans eat with their fingers. You know, hey. Hosea had to feel that way. But he was obedient to God. And that's what just blew my mind, the obedience. So then he told Hosea, God told Hosea, now, since I done embarrassed you, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. Now I'm finna touch something, really. I'm finna touch your money. Go buy her. That means whoever she doing it with, you got to face them face to face. You got to go to whoever she's with, face them face to face, and pay them for rightfully what's yours. They said it was 15 pieces of silver. I broke it down, y'all. I want to know how much he paid. He paid $4 for 15 pieces of silver. That was $4.08. For 5 bushels of barley, that was $25.50. And for a measure of wine, a glass of wine is $12. So he had to purchase, you know, back in biblical time, this probably been a lot. It was $41.58. But that was $41.57 too much that I got to spend to correct somebody else's mistake. But God touched the heart to see, okay, I'm finna touch you in your finances, to see if you're going to give what's rightfully yours to get something that don't really want you. But he was yet obedient. As I read it, I just kept looking. I kept looking. Because, you know, it says in the Bible, y'all help me now, they said that Sarah laughed within herself. That means she wasn't with it. Ain't nothing coming out here. Ain't nothing coming out here. She laughed within herself. I don't see whenever God told Hosea to do something, obedience is the only thing he brought. Obedience was the only thing that he saw. So he paid for her back. He paid for her love back. He paid for her not to go out in the streets. So we have to know that, like I said, Hosea is my man. There's nothing you can tell me. It says, then shall we know if we follow on. And saying about Hosea is that the great obedience that he had, regardless of what you have to deal with, regardless how nasty or ugly it may be, or how everybody knows your business, or how embarrassing. You know what? I'm at a point in my life right now, I really don't care. I really don't care. Because when I lay down to sleep at night, I'm going to get some sleep. Because one day you going to like me and the next day you not. So when you come to that point of understanding in your life that it's about your walk with God. Hosea was a powerful person. He was so powerful. And I never experienced it like I experienced it in his word. And I kept hearing about Job the past 3 days. How everything that came to Job, the devil had to get permission. So think of the devil getting permission and asking him to do all these things. The devil had to get permission from God for anything to happen to our lives. But if then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Lord. Regardless of what comes, you got to know that there's a glory after this. You can take whatever's bad and use it for bad, or you can take whatever's bad and use it for his glory. And if you stay the course, if you go on to know the Lord, if you stay the course, if you stay in the house of God, and you continue to learn of him, you continue to know of him, then God will begin to reveal those bad things in your life and why they happen. That you will be able to testify to somebody else for his glory. But we don't stay that Hosea road. We fall off because we think of everything that the enemy is doing at that time. So he says, then shall we know, if we follow on to know. He's going forth, is prepared as the morning. He's going forth and he's going to prepare a place for us.